Today, I'm fixing my future because someone has to. If you start my savings and investment plans with Old Mutual today, then my future will be smoother than Dad's head. So you get advice from the people at Old Mutual, and I'll get those gold stars to make you proud. Any questions?
Do future doctors pack their own lunches?
Start their journey by speaking to an Old Mutual financial advisor today. Invest in their future. Do great things every day.
Orlando Pirates wins the match. Bob's in the CAF Champions League preliminary round. To be honest with you, a very interesting first half. Maybe let me start just for 3 minutes quickly, where I saw Orlando Pirates initiating play. There's two things that I think the coach, for me, should have emphasized, more especially in the first 15 minutes, was to a little bit aggression, more especially without the ball. With the ball, a little bit of energy in terms of passing precision. Can we move the ball a little bit quicker? Why? We are playing against the low block and the mid-low block. Yeah. More especially with the defensive line. The first point of attack is that when the ball goes wide, you would see the intelligence of Umbogazi and Osiema dropping a little bit deeper. But on the ball, I felt like Umbule enjoys playing with Umbata. I think that Umbata as well is bringing out the best. Both players are bringing out the best in each other. I think Umduli, you can use him in different phases of the game, in different moments where you'd use him to keep the ball. He's got a beautiful passing range in him. He can play short, he can play long. Reminds me a little bit Lentano CMO for Xavi Alonso as well. He's got an unbelievable passing range. I think Umbata plays with a lot of energy. Umbule today, I think they wanted to open a couple of channels, and the channel they wanted to open was the left-hand side. I think they picked a lot of passes. Upega, the pattern of play in the game model Orlando Pirates, it relies on two wingers that play on the inside. You understand that? Because they want to attack Ngama fullback. Ulibito, I think one of the reasons why they are playing him on the right-hand side, Bobzin, is because they want an attacking threat as well as Ution Hoto. Ution Hoto today got a lot of opportunities. But for me, in my opinion, the pass that they wanted to pick is the one in front of the goalkeeper. I thought that if maybe, rather than a cross, if they were looking for a pass, more especially with D-line or in the penalty spot, I felt that Umbule could have an opportunity to score. Mabasa would have had an opportunity to score. They bring in two substitutes in the second half, which is they bring in Utansin, they bring in Ul and Uzumu Remi, and they bring two things. Utansin brings in the very same thing, because at halftime I said that the coach sends one message: move the ball a little bit quicker, more especially in the midfield. Let's progress it quicker. We are one pass away from goal. That's exactly that when they bring in Urile into midfield. Urile brings in two things. He brings in the energy to play in between our pockets, but also he brings in the final pass. He didn't do it only in this game. He did it against Stellenbosch, because he game changer when he came into midfield. I believe he was unbelievable, because the pass for Ikolaga Mabasa, where he breaks the line. Two things he has, the boy. He's got an eye for a pass. And as well, he's got a pinpoint pass that breaks line. He's a line breaker. Mabasa has a very good first touch. I always say to players in the box, two touch in the box. Utansin he adds two things into the game. He adds a forward pass, but not just a forward pass. Every time when the ball goes wide, he's very patient. There's two things the Orlando Pirates needed to open, Bobzin. Yeah. They wanted to, because it's a low block, they wanted to bring the two midfielders out of position. How do you bring the two midfielders out of position? You wait for them. We have a drag out of position. You keep the ball closer to feet. I will move you a little bit quicker. And Tansin. Magata to jump into the next line, you bring it wide, you run into that space. Let's cut a shield. I saw Tansin running on that right-hand channel. I think that's where their opportunities started to creep. Mabasa as well, his hold-up play. I think Orlando Pirates played a very good game, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, thanks, my leader. Ngibulise team yonke la studio. My leader, I think the Pirates started very well. Dominating ball position yabo. Team abadlala nayo idlala low block njengoba usho idlala mid block. So into Orlando Pirates beyenza bezama ukuthi uma inokhi ball beyileka too much ku final third uma ungabheka, especially first half bebanganayo finishing right. Uma ungabheka umdlalo ofana nombuli ubheka uHoto baye bathola ama chances no really bayazanga abe selfish kakhulu today. I think nala khona bekumele ngabe abe selfish athathe ama shot on target, because bebafuna ukungena phakathi eboxini, bafuna umdlalo ofana noMabasa. But ngiyacabanga ukuthi ucoach wenza ukuhlanganipha kakhulu lamasapha wenzile, njengoba sibona first half leya team bengabonisi ukuthi ifuna attack iPirates, beyifuna ukubamba ngama counter. Sometimes bafuna ukuthatha ama shot on target bakude. Uyabona ukuthi ibona le Orlando Pirates beli tight. That is why ubona umdlalo ofana noMbatha noNduli ba push a little bit, ba jump leya line, bazama ukuthi banokhi ibhola ehafini leya team. So i-finishing yaka Hoto ngikhala ngayo kakhulu. Ngiyacabanga uHoto manje angazi mhlawumbe ile age akuyo, uyakhona ukurunela kuma space, uyakwazi ucreate space, but at the end of the day decision making mafia final third. Le bhola bokhuluma ngalo ibheka thole mhlawumbe extra touch, angene mhlawumbe eboxini then bekuzodecide ukuthi uyavela uMabasa yini na njengoba simbona uMabasa ay-striker ezidlalela eboxini avele then kube naleya tap in but give credit to uMabasa de uyadlala ngakhona because uyambona ukuthi always uhlala ku-target ile striker osidingayo uma ngabe udlala ngabadlali mhlawumbe abafana no-Rele nomdlalo ofana no-Apolis abakhona ukwenza ama-box entries Orlando Pirates wayenzile ama-box entries but poor finishing ku-first half second half ucoach wayilungisa lento ukuletha umdlali ofana no-Dancing ngiyacabanga ukuthi uzama ukunciphisa leya defense kukumbatha waletha umdlali mhlawumbe ozoba ne-creativity going forward njengoba umbona those defense splitting passes abawashayayo yila khona bekuvela lama-pockets because bayabona ukuthi lamajita aregroupa quick let's break them ngalama-pass lasibona khona uMabasa khona ukureceiver athena ajoyina nomdlalo ofana no-Apolis kanye no-Rele so umbonile ucoach uma adonsa uRele amletha ngaphakathi uthatha umRemi umikisa lapha and na umRemi udlale kahle kakhulu because beka-stretcha leya defense esibona ngathi ifuna kuba packed njengoba sibabona abafuna ukudlala ba-80 number boxing majita waseLesotho.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think there's two things that I want to speak about. And I want to speak about the coach. The coach has a big season ahead of him. Number one, for me, I was expecting Abu Nemtajer, Abu Mremi, Abu Dancing. I was expecting him to bring in fresh blood. Why? He needs to give them game time now, more especially in games like this. Because why, Bobzin? There's injuries in between the season, there's loss of form. He's going to need some of these players immediately after AFCON in January, in February. Players like Abu Dancing, players like Abu Nemtajer, players like Abu Apolis, players like Abu Muremi, Mabasa. Those players are crucial in the Orlando Pirates season. They might start with certain players in duration of the season, but there's certain players that are going to be very important. Their game model relies on two players. It relies on the striker that they want to use because the striker already tells you about the model of how they want to attack. They've got a variation in terms of your attack. They've got wingers that can play on the inside, to Apolis Nomfukeng. They've got wingers that can also play on the outside, to Muremi, wingers that can run behind the channel. But they also have wingers that have different qualities. They've got to Apolis, who's got a different quality as well, who can pick a pass from the right-hand side. That's why it makes a lot of sense. They've got a variation in terms of the fullbacks they have. They've got a fullback, in my opinion, I think they can use Umbogazi as a left-back sometimes because the boy has personality, he's got the character to play a double position. Usejo Ramos used to do it when he was younger. They just need to fix that left-hand side because they can't bring in a left-back now. Go right back, they've got one Ulibito who can offer them an attacking threat. They've got two Dino Van Rooyen who can offer them double. He can play on the inside, can play on the outside. Defensively, sounds very solid. Defensive pairing, Yabo, is very solid as well. But Bobzin, for me, the striker they use is very important because the striker they use this season, they need to give him games. They need to give him trust because the striker that they use is set at the game model that they want to use. What kind of a team are they? Umabasa offers them a different quality to what Umahopa does. But I believe that with the striker they have, if they use Umabasa brings in the best out of the two wingers because the wingers can play off him. He's a striker that moves with the game. His first touch is very good. He's got a very good layout. He's very good with his back towards goal. And he's a striker that doesn't need a lot of opportunities to score. So far, if you give him confidence, you keep a 1v1 with the goalkeeper, he does get an opportunity to score. They need to bring out the best in certain players, more especially in games that matter. You know, games that lack maybe motivation. Just like this game. How they started, for me, I was a little bit disappointed. I was expecting them to move the ball a little bit quicker. But second half, I think the mentality changed. They understood where they are, what they are playing for, that they have a whole season. Every game matters for Orlando Pirates, and I think how they approached the first 15 minutes immediately to Puma from halftime, they made sure that they capitalize.
Exactly, my leader. Lento eceda ukuyisho kubaleke kakhulu especially ukuthi udlale nge-box strike, especially modlala ne-team obona ngathi ifuna ukudlala i-low block or i-mid block. Yes, you can play nge-box striker so that ube nama-winger azokhona ukwenza ama-box entries or ube nalama wing back la njengoba uceda ukukhuluma badlala bafana nabo-Hoto nabo-Libitso ukuthi at least bakwazi ukufika ema-boxini bazodilivela leso strike esifana noMabasa. Maybe if udlala nge-team edlala high line, it's whereby mhlambe uzodinga umdlalo one-pace kulesa speed behind the defense, you understand. But give credit to Orlando Pirates and the coach of Orlando Pirates, the way rotate ngakhona abadlali. Ngiyacabanga refresher right i-squad sakhe. Into engibonayo nje right kakhulu ukuthi he give other players a chance ukuthi badlale kulama game afana nalawa. Expecting abadlali abafana nabo Buthelezi when they play second league ukuthi abanikeza ithuba mhlawumbe nabo babe khona la kule team efana ne-Orlando Pirates.
All right, iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, all sports betting.
Sure.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niyazi bafethu, ama coach for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.